All right, we're going to do a brief store buying guide. We're just going to go over some of the general rules that I try to follow when I'm going through the stores on a daily basis. And some of this is going to apply to new players and veteran players alike. But I just want to say that it does change and the game changes from time to time. And I'm going to say at the time of making this video, the general direction that most people are going when they're starting to play this game is they go Guardians or Sinister Six first. And the advantage to going Sinister Six is that eventually they work well on their own team if you unlock Doc Ock, but they themselves, Sinister Six, unlock 2 legendary characters, Invisible Woman and Shuri. And then Guardians, you know, they're good up to a bit. You know, the team really has fallen off, but a lot of people find that once you get Minerva unlocked and you use parts of the Guardians, you really can get through Dark Dimension 2. But then symbiotes have changed all that. Anyways, this stuff changed. But I want to go into the store and just talk about some of the stuff that you should be avoiding or looking at every single day. Now, typically, I just want to say this, that a way to run out of gold really quickly in this store is to buy gear. But there's 2 pieces of gear, 2 types of pieces of gear that I think that people should be focusing on because there is some genuine scarcity on it. And that's the gear that is in the multiples of 72,000, like this right here. The Superior Hammer Tech, and then also the gear pieces that are in multiples of 50,000. Now, let's talk about the gear pieces in the multiples of 50,000. There's something called what the community calls a Superior Mini Unique, and there's a total of 15 of them. And at the time of making this video, only Doom 1 was released, and 5 of those 15 pieces are technically farmable in Doom round 1. I believe they're in 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So Doom 1, 2, Doom 1, 3, Doom 1, 5. So like this, so you kind of have to just know what they are. But if they're not in those farmable characters, or if at the time of this video, Doom 2 is not out, or Doom 3, imagine in Doom 2 and Doom 3, when they come out, then they're all going to be farmable. As right now, these pieces are vital. Like back before Doom 1 was released, these pieces were hard to get. But typically my suggestion is, anytime you see something that is 72K and you want to go into your advanced options up here in the home screen and turn on so you can see your inventory levels, but you want to scoop up these ones here that have 50K, 100K, 72K, and then sometimes there's multiples of this 72K. It comes in at 216, I believe. So you want to scoop that up. Now, as far as like these regular pieces right here, you're going to run out of gold quickly if you're buying these regularly. Typically, you want to farm these pieces or get them through orbs or going through raids. You don't want to make a habit of buying these pieces regularly. It's fine every once in a while. That's fine. Also, cores. Don't be spending cores on this. My suggestion for cores is to be spending it on campaign energy. That is the best way to spend cores. Very rarely should you be buying things with cores. I would say that almost every player should at least do the 50s. If you're a little bit whaley, you can do the 100s. Right here, the 100s, and you get 120 energy. And not a lot of people go over the 200s. But if you place well in your arena, you can do the 100s for quite a bit. And the reason why you want to do energy and campaign energy is not only do you get character shards and gear, but you also get training materials and gold. You just get a lot of value for the cores. At a minimum, you should be doing your 50s, but probably should be doing the 100s. That being said, don't buy this stuff. Don't buy this stuff here. I mean, this stuff here for cores is not good. These, I don't know anybody that buys these. Don't buy this stuff. Just don't buy it. And be sparingly on the ones that cost gold. You do have to buy 3 a day, but the ones that are pretty much no-brainers in this particular store right here are going to be the 72 and the 50K multiples. Next, Blitz store. So a couple key characters in this store, and I'm going to tell you what I do. I have all these characters other than Domino unlocked, and so I end up buying the energy refills, but you may not care about war. That's just something I do, is the war. But I think most people in this store when they start the game are going to be focusing on Mantis, Rhino, and or Gamora to get started. I do want to draw your attention to this orb right here, which costs 350 tickets rather than buying the characters at 500. That does give you a better value, but you will get random minions in there. The other reason why this orb is a better value long term is because that's the way you get Domino. She has a 10% drop rate in there, and that's the way to get Domino is inside of this orb. But when you do open this orb, yes, it's 350 and it's a better value, but you can focus fire, and you definitely should focus fire if it's going to speed up you getting a legendary, because this game at the end of the day is all about legendaries and getting the legendaries. Once you have the legendaries you want, or you have the characters in here and you need, then you probably want to start doing this. Other thing too is I think most people should hard stop on farming characters when you get to 6 stars. The number of character shards to go from 6 to 7 is 300 character shards, and believe it or not, 6-star characters are quite playable. And in my opinion, you can just stop actively farming characters at 6 stars, because then you can just let them get to 7 stars naturally. Because once you get a 7-star character, all those shards get put back into Ultimus food, and it's not a good experience. And it's technically kind of like a catch-up mechanic at some point. I would say that a good 90% of the shards that I get on a daily basis are strictly going, characters already have maxed out. So stopping at 6 is okay, because at some point you're going to have too many shards and not know what to do with it. And that also allows for, when you're opening these Blitz orbs, that you're not getting duplicates once you already have a 7-star character. The next store is also, and I know there's the key one here that everybody complains about is going to be Rocket. And you can get Rocket. The problem is he's going to show up here randomly for 1,400 tickets. And you get a lot better value here with these raid orbs. I believe these raid orbs, which only cost 900 tickets. I could be wrong. I think they're 900 tickets. But they give you 9 character shards. And it's just a better way of these raid orbs to give you 5 in the middle and then 2 on each side. It's going to be random, but it's just a better value than buying them for 1,400 right there. That does cost 900. I get confirmation from the chat. It's been such a long time. But at the end of the day, this is going to give you the best value, but you just got to do what you got to do. If you're farming for a legendary character and the character that you need to get the next legendary, whatever it is here, you got to do it. For example, Ronin, he's needed to unlock Phoenix. Then if you need him, then you're going to do that. Okay, let's go to the Arena Store. Now, the Arena Store, there's a bunch of characters in here that help you unlock legendary characters. The most notable one, I think, is Heimdall for unlocking Black Bolt. Crystal right there for unlocking Ebony Maw. Vulture is part of the Sinister Six, so early game, that's probably going to be the best. Then we got so many other characters. Drax for Star-Lord. Quake for Ebony Maw. So on and so on and so on. Here's the deal. At some point, and this is a late game suggestion only, some point you're going to have all of these characters here at 7 stars, and I have all of these characters at 7 stars, and I have severe problems with training mats. I try so 3 stipulations on this. If you have all these characters unlocked, 1, if you're having problems with training materials, 2, and you have more than 20,000, the good alternative is to go in here and open up the Kingpin Vault. So I keep my arena energy at about 20,000 right here. I don't like it to go a lot lower than that, because if they do drop a new character in there, I can run into a problem. But if I keep it at 20,000, by the time that I get them maxed out, I'm usually down to 0. I'm finding that 20,000 is a good number to keep at any given time. But I want to open one of these just to show you what you get. The amount of training materials I get in there are quite exceptional. That was not a good drop. Sometimes I get these phenomenal drops. And this has become one of the main sources of training materials for me today. As long as I keep this number above 20,000, then I'm not risking a new character that gets added to the Arena Store. And I'm finding there. But the worst part about these Kingpin orbs in here is that Kingpin's in it. But I don't suggest doing that if you don't have all of these characters unlocked. I don't suggest doing that if you don't have a shortage of training materials, but at some point you probably will. And I also don't suggest it if you have less than 20,000. So there's a lot of big ifs there. All right, let's go to the raid store. My God. Oh my God. Okay, so you need to farm characters in here. And there's some really, really important characters in here. Sif. If you want to get Black Bolt and eventually get Magma, you're going to need Sift. This is a big deal. Pyro's in here. Pyro's a big deal. X23's in here. She's a big deal. Mr. Sinister is in here, and he's a big deal. And Graviton's in here, but he's not that big a deal. And some people even point out, okay, so there are some other characters like Cable and Nobu that are important for unlocking legendary characters, but they eventually have nodes. And depending on what level on, what part of the campaign nodes you have unlocked, you probably don't want to be farming Cable and Nobu in here because they're farmable in nodes. And that's what I'm trying to say. The really important characters in here, again, I gotta double down on this. It's gonna be characters like Carnage and Sif, Pyro, Mr. Sinister. And then the only other node that I think is worth considering is if you scroll down here to the last node that's gold, is this one right here. And this one here also shows those mini uniques, those 15 mini uniques I was talking about in the gold store that are really important for getting to gear tier 14. The 72,000 pieces are also important, and I'll buy them. Specifically right now, most players are having a severe problem with alien spores, and probably they're scooping up alien spores every chance that you can get if they show up here, because every single symbiote needs them, and you need all symbiotes maxed out. And this is something that changes, from time to time. But right now, everybody's having a massive bio carriage shortage, but I believe that is a problem unique to October 2020, and maybe in December we're going to have some other gear of mass shortage. So just keep that in mind. But right now we're all scrambling for bio gears, alien spores, and things like that. But in the war store, be selective, man. Sif is probably the top priority character in my opinion, and then also this slot right here is high importance for those mini uniques. I wanted to say this about gold promotion credits. I would highly suggest not doing anything with your promotion credits until you really want to know, and ask a lot of people. There's only a handful of characters that are worthy of putting gold promotion credits on at all. Total, maybe 5 or 6. And the number kind of changes. The flavor of this month right now is Thanos. And, that's probably the top pick for a lot of people right now, is to put gold promotion credits on Thanos, but that may not be true 3-4 months from now. And so my suggestion is to save these, ask a lot of people, really think about it, because they're super valuable. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. If you think I left anything out, or any other tips for these stores, or if you found that this brief overview of the store guide helpful, let me know what you think. And as always, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.